All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're great today. So welcome to a new session and in Spanish. Para los y las que pudieron ir ese día, digamos, de la bienvenida, ¿qué les pareció el PEDAP? Yo me imagino que quizá algunos habían ido antes. No lo sé. O quizás visitaron, digamos, alrededor del campus y todo eso. Pero ¿qué les pareció? Cuéntenme, ¿qué les pareció la experiencia? ¿Les gustó el PEDA? ¿No les gustó? ¿Se sacaron fotos? O sea, yo la verdad que hace tanto tiempo que no iba que me pareció como que fuera como una primera vez después de tanto tiempo. Y bueno, con respecto a lo que vamos a ver esta semana, tenemos que empezar a ver con respecto al critical review, ¿cierto? O literature review. Cualquier consulta que tengan, duda, comentario, por favor háganlo. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys right now. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the calendar. Hold on, here. Okay, so we're right here in the calendar. And according to this, we should be revising the media and technology, which is unit number 2. We should be, in this case, working on the literature review in this case, which is a group work. And it says report 1 writing, but we're behind this. Okay, we're not like right here complying with the calendar, because we got the autonomous week, and also we need to study some previous contents, right? So first of all, we need to talk about the literature review. Okay, literature review in this case is the formal piece of writing, which is academic, and we basically revise a topic from and we look up information on the in this case scientific literature regarding this specific topic. Okay, we need to study the structure of a literature review, and en Spanish again. No sé si les han hablado, chicos, chicas, respecto a, en este caso, o si han escuchado hablar acerca del hito evaluativo de segundo año, o the evaluative milestone. ¿Alguien ha escuchado hablar acerca de esto que se hace en segundo año, el hito evaluativo?
Sí, profe. Algunos otros profes han hablado de eso. De hecho, el profe Mauro nos dio una explicación.
Ya, perfecto.
Ahora, si lo quiere volver a explicar.
No problem. But I'd like to know what you know. What do you? But thank you, Fernanda. I'd like to know what you understand. No lo he escuchado, dice la Karen. Yeah. I'd like to know if you understand, in this case, the structure of a literature review. What is the purpose of a literature review? And also, I'd like to know if what you know about me running down in deep. My goodness, what a good song, Julian. And I'd like to maybe you can type something in the chat box about the literature review, what you understand about it, but basically it's as I told you. And let me show you something. Here, elements of a literature review in this case. Yeah, I'm going to upload all of this stuff. You know, I got several presentations about it, and also got in this case the guidelines and everything. But for now, I'm just going to show you. It's says here, it's a critical recap of what has already been researched on a topic. You can write a literature review taking information from books to research papers to many other sources. Okay. And so basically we need to deal with some topics. All right. I don't know if Mauro already gave you the topics. All right. This is only an example, like for example, LGBTQ plus inclusion, which is a really important topic, but there are more, but this is only just an example. And so basically you have to organize your groups. This is pretty much like the organization. You need to organize your ideas, revise in this case again the sources regarding this topic. Like for example, language and power. That's another example of the topic. And then you need to start looking up information on different repositories like Cielo, for example, ResearchGate, Academia, repositories of the University of Chile, etc., right? And then, or maybe some journals like scientific journals, magazines, etc. And then when you write a review, you need to highlight the most important aspects of those papers, okay, the main ideas, and then you can compare those ideas, maybe different papers, different sources in this case, and reach a conclusion from in this case, from the scientific point of view. When I talk about scientific, I'm not talking about necessarily formulas and stuff like that, because you know that you got this naturalistic and humanistic point of view of the reality, and when we talk about research and science regarding, in this case, the humanistic point of view, we normally analyze the reality, you know, the subjective or the subjectivity of a phenomenon, social phenomenon normally, but we try to understand it from the scientific with the scientific method. Okay. And let's continue in this case with the description of the literature review. Here it says, you know, 1,000 words, but this might change. Okay, might change, but it's in this case it's a short paper. I would say short paper because 1,000 words is pretty much like it's a decent number. What else? There's here some brief, in this case, outlining about the review. You know, it contains an introduction or an introductory paragraph where the inside information gives some background on the topic and its importance, discuss the scope of the literature you will review, because maybe you can choose 5 papers and you revise those, you read those 5 papers, and then you you come up with a summary of these 5 papers, right? Time period, for example, of those papers, and what else? The objective, it says. At least three body paragraphs. But in those paragraphs, you need to give an account of the topics and subtopics dealt in your analysis, right? And also you need to have a conclusion. You need to summarize the key findings from those papers, okay? And also relevate the significance in this case. What is the main, in this case, contribution from the authors in general, right? So let me show you an example. I think I got one from the last year. Literature review here. Here, there you go. An academic literature review by Jose Ignacio Garcia. There you go. Yeah. Sorry, Ignacio, I need to use your paper for an example, as an example. Okay, so the way it looks is pretty much the same, aesthetics of any other paper, with a title, in this case, the author. We got in this case, the logo and the header, like in every paper. And then, one of the aspects which is important to, in this case, to correct is the vocabulary, which is part of, in this case, of the rubric. We're gonna, in this case, double check the mechanics, which is punctuation, capitalization, and all those aspects which are, in this case, very important in an academic paper, right? You can see here the introductory paragraph, which is very important regarding the background. Okay, background normally is a setting. We describe the setting, from the historical point of view, and how, in this case, a specific problem is present in our society. In this case, Jose Ignacio chose homeschooling. Homeschooling, of course, was not created in our country. It's in this case, it was born in North America. Maybe the modern concept of homeschooling. So we need to describe those origins, okay, and how maybe this educational system came to Chile, and when, and how it has, for example, grown and developed in our country. That's a background, basically. What else? In the next paragraph, we can see history of homeschooling, more information, very specific, in this case, sources like this one, with percentages and years, and which is very important. Some figures or cifras regarding, in this case, people practicing homeschooling in our country or in other countries. Demographic, it says. So in this case, Jose Ignacio is pretty much highlighting, the most important aspects of the papers he read. For example, demographics, academic achievements, why to choose homeschooling, or maybe why not. All right. But the idea in this case, for example, if we deal with academic achievements, for example, you need to include more than one author. Like maybe you can have a subtitle. In this case, you're dealing with a subtopic, but you have 3 or 4 different authors dealing with this aspect, which is academic achievement. So we expect to have several authors regarding this aspect. So in this case, for example, Gaider 2017, Ray 2017, Aliaga 2017, which is good. Not only one author. Okay. And then we got, this is pretty much the final conclusion right here. All right. How many, and the list of references, of course. How many paragraphs in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, which is okay. How many authors in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 authors, which is also okay. 6.4. That's a good grade. Hold on. Okay, this is pretty much the rubric. I don't really know if we're gonna use this rubric with the guys. I know that there are more than one rubric because it depends on the subject. You know, DELI in this case has a rubric, and Mauro, for example, has a different rubric because he's going to analyze other aspects, right? According to his activity, in this case, his curricular activity. So, but yeah, important, very important, the grammar, the vocabulary, cohesion and coherency, argument quality and idea building, task achievement, mechanics, use of sources, all right? When we talk about mechanics, we talk about spelling, capitalization, punctuation, okay? Use of sources, very important in this case. And also, en Spanish, creo que hubo un taller de APA hace poco, o no sé si lo hicieron o lo van a hacer. Ya, pero igual tenemos que ver APA. Okay, APA, really important. 7th edition, right? 7th edition. Why 7th edition? Because that's the one that it should be used right now, porque la sexta ya están usando re poco la sexta edición. And there are some differences between 6th edition and the 7th edition, right? Good. Guys, any questions so far?
Profe,
Cuénteme, Julián.
tengo 2 preguntas. ¿Este trabajo es solo?
Hasta donde sé, es grupal.
Ah, ¿grupal de cuánto?
Esa parte tiene que verla con Mauro, porque como él está coordinando el tema del literature review, o sea, claro, básicamente, el año pasado eran grupos de 3, 4, pero no, como les digo, no tengo un número definido, porque ¿de qué depende? Va a depender de la cantidad, digamos, total de estudiantes, en este caso por sección, ¿ya? Déjenme revisar cuántos son ustedes. Hold on. Acá. Son 25. 5. Quizás puedan ser grupos de 5. Pero como les digo, es bueno que vayan perfilando ya su grupo. Yo recuerdo que el año pasado los grupos eran de 4. Entonces, por eso es que tienen que hablar con Mauro de eso. No, yo me imagino que no han hablado del número de estudiantes con Mauro todavía. ¿No han visto eso
No.
con Mauro? No,
No.
ya. Sí. Abran los micrófonos nomás si quieren comentar
¿Y
o preguntarme
esto,
cosas.
el literature review sería como para mediados de noviembre?
Te digo al tiro. ¿Dónde está el calendario? Aquí está. Entrega de este asunto. Dice Submission 2 es hasta el 19 de noviembre. Hasta el 19 de noviembre. Dice, aquí está, 2 lucas. Son 2.000, sí. Aquí está. 2000 palabras.
No,
Y
Antonio.
claro, lo que pasa es que esta cuestión, no sé si les explicaron, pero es un trabajo que es súper importante porque es de nivel, no es mío nomás. Entonces, es un trabajo interdisciplinario. Entonces, estamos todos los profes metidos de segundo año, estamos todos metiendo la cuchara. Por eso es que nos vamos a cruzar con el ramo del Mauro, ¿cierto? Etcétera. Y
Y más encima después tenemos que presentarlo, po, ¿no? Así como un oral.
claro, sí, el año pasado se hizo así, po, sí, esto es como con DELI se hace la preparación y después tienen que, el año pasado se hizo una flipped classroom, se hizo una clase invertida, ¿cachai? Y hubo que usar incluso como un formato tipo TED, ¿cierto? No sé si conocen TED, eh, una presentación que hay en la página de TED, ¿cierto? Y así a todo cachere y todo el tema. Entonces, eh, y los grupos presentaban, por supuesto, como enseñándole a los demás, digamos, sobre el tópico. ¿Ya? Eh, Voy a leer el chat. Ya no tengo clases con
Tengo
Maurito.
una duda.
Cuénteme, Estefanía.
¿Qué pasa con las personas que no tienen un ramo, o sea, que es necesario para esto? ¿También vamos a tener que hacer el trabajo o cómo?
Excelente pregunta. El año pasado, los que no tenían todos los ramos, en este caso, ¿cierto? Eh, Tenían que hacer un trabajo alternativo, ¿ya? Por ejemplo, en mi caso, yo doy una actividad alternativa, ¿ya? Eh, Porque hay que tener una reunión con el nivel, pues, con todos los profes de segundo, ¿cierto? Y los coordinadores ahí son los que toman la decisión final, ¿ya? Pero el año pasado sí es así, ¿ya? Todos los que no, en este caso les faltaba algún ramo para hacerlo, eh, trabajo alternativo. Que básicamente va en la misma línea porque en segundo ustedes ya tienen que estar, digamos, desarrollando habilidades de escritura ya en más nivel más académico, más pro, entonces iría por la misma línea de, ¿cierto? De formal academic writing. Más preguntas, más dudas. Bueno, hay que ir haciendo feedback. Según el calendario, cuando ustedes ya comienzan a escribir, ya tienen que irme mostrando, digamos, los avances. Eh, y aquí dice que, hold on. Voy a buscar la fecha. Ya, según esto dice Report One Writing. Debería haber una feedback session por el
Para
de
esta
hoy día,
semana,
pero
po.
claro, sí, no, sí, se atrasa nomás el calendario, no hay problema. ¿Ya? ¿Alguien ha empezado a escribir algo sobre Literature Review o todavía nada?
Nadie tiene idea mientras no se salden los grupos. Yo creo que no podemos empezar, porque necesitamos empezar a hacer los grupos para poder discutir de qué vamos a hacer las cosas.
Correcto, correcto. Oye, ¿y el Maurito les dio los temas o no?
Creo que tampoco. O sí, no estoy seguro, hay que revisar. A ver, voy a revisar al tiro.
Vale, vale.
Ya no estoy con el Mauro.
Ah,
Ah,
tú ya tuviste ya, po, con el Mauro, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí, ya estoy lista.
no, profe, sabe que no lo subí.
No están los temas todavía.
No.
Ya, pero el año pasado, como te digo, pucha, está el homeschooling que les mostré un trabajo del año pasado. Eh, ¿Qué más? Habían otros temas, como te decía, Language and Power, LGBTIQ rights, ¿cierto? Eh, Aquí hay otro, espérate que encontré. Dice Technology Integration and its Impact on Education. Ya, Literature Review dice. Claro. Pero los temas se los tiene que dar el Mauro. Ya, no es que ustedes puedan, en este caso en particular, como es un trabajo de, como les decía, un hito evaluativo de nivel de segundo año, no hay ciertas restricciones. Entonces el Mauro les tiene que dar los temas. Y de ahí de esos temas ustedes tienen que escoger uno, digamos, y ahí el grupo va a tener que desarrollar, digamos, en ese sentido, la revisión, digamos, literaria en este caso, ¿ya? Y es academic, por lo tanto, tiene restricciones en términos, digamos, de la norma APA, ¿cierto? Cómo manejarla. What else can I share about this? Hold on. I got several presentations here, but let me choose the best for you guys. Hold on. Let me show you if I can share a video with you. Yeah, hold on. Video. Aquí está. How to write a literature review. Here we go.
Review might be easier than you think. It's only a critical recap of what has already been researched on a topic, so no need to panic. In this video, your literature review has an...
Hold on. Subtitles, it's in Spanish. Let me change it to English. There you go. Now.
Writing the literature review might be easier than you think. It's only a critical recap of what has already been researched on a topic, so no need to panic. In this video, you'll learn how to write a literature review in 5 simple steps. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. We also zoomed in on all of the steps outlined in this video in separate videos. Check out the playlist here. Now let's get ready to start writing. Step 1. Search for relevant literature on your topic. In this context, literature just means any academic sources like books or journal articles about your topic. First, you need to search in the right scholarly database, so something like Google Scholar, PubMed, or ScienceDirect. Search your keywords with Boolean operators like these to help you filter and refine the search results. Check out this video to find out how to use them. Step 2. Evaluate and select sources. Unless your topic is super niche, you probably can't read everything that's been written on the topic. Once you've got the sources from step 1, read the abstract to scan whether an article is relevant or not. Also scan the bibliography to find other relevant sources. You should also pay attention to the citation count on Google Scholar. If the count is high, the source is probably important and you should include it. Step 3. Identify themes, debates, and gaps. As you read, take notes and pay attention to the connections between different sources. This way, you can organize your literature review's arguments and structure a lot easier. Here are some things to look for. Trends and patterns in theories, methods, or results. Themes, debates or contradictions, influential studies, and gaps. Step 4. Outline your literature review structure. You can go about your literature review structure in a few ways. It all depends on what you found in the literature and what you want to emphasize. Here are 4 common approaches to structure the literature review. Chronological, that means from older to more recent publications. Thematic, so organized around several key themes. For methodological, you can compare the different research methods being used across studies. As for theoretical, you use it to discuss opposing theories or models. More details in this video. Check it out. And finally, get writing. Make sure your literature review has an introduction, a main body that summarizes and synthesizes the sources, and a conclusion, just like other academic texts. Now let's get your literature review started. To learn more about literature review, click this playlist. I'll see you there.
All right, people. So from this video, I'd like to highlight some important aspects. For example, search for relevant literature on your topic. This part is really important, okay? Google Academics is okay, but as I told you, you got, for example, Cielo or different journals online. You know, one of my favorites is ResearchGate and Academia, for example. And but there are a lot of repositories online too. Okay, you can find like serious papers on them. And I would say that, for example, if you once you have chosen your topic, you shouldn't read, for example, like I don't know, if you are 5 or 4 in your group, like everyone in this case might choose 1 or 2 papers to read. Okay, I recommend to read papers which are like well known, but not very long, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your time reading like really long papers or too many papers, and it's like, guys, only a maximum of 2 papers per member of group, no more, right? If the group has 4 people and you and each one of you chooses 2 papers in this case, no more than that. Okay, like 8 authors is okay for the literature review in this case, no more than that. So relevant literature, that's one thing. Evaluate and select, in this case, sources, as I told you, and as the video showed. You have to filter, okay, because you're gonna, maybe on Google Academics, you're gonna find a lot of authors regarding, especially when the topic is trendy. You're gonna find a lot of people talking about that. So try to filter, in this case, according to the number of viewers, or the you know, the number of citations, the number of sites. What else? Themes, debates, in this case, and gaps. For example, if I take the topic, which is really important, about inclusion is so, the scope is so wide, because we're not only talk about inclusion for you know, related to disabilities. We talk about like inclusion for, you know, LGBT, for example, communities, people from other ethnicities, from other countries, migrants, etc. So inclusion is so wide that maybe you need to narrow down in this case, the topic of inclusion, and maybe you deal only with migration, for example, boom, or you deal only with some specific group on this in the LGBT community, or because that's going to make it easier for you to narrow down the scope. All right, and when you choose the specific subtopic, in this case, you have to identify themes, debates, and gaps. You know, maybe in this papers there is only one aspect which is relevated. Maybe you need to talk about more things about this specific topic, right? How to include, in this case, disabled people in certain jobs, maybe, and there's no literature about that. Maybe there's nothing about it, or maybe there is like one manual, only one aspect, in this case, analyzed, and maybe we need to investigate and research more about this, and that could be part of your conclusion, that there's just little in this case research made, and that we need more. All right, or for example, how some authors debate about what is the best way to include certain communities in the society, how to make them more visible, right? And there are different arguments about that. Maybe some authors prefer visibility which is public on TV, on the media, or some others maybe do not like that way of visibility, maybe visibility which is more, in this case, integrative and in the jobs, for example, and not so mediatic, etc., etc. So in that case, according to the paper, you need to, in this case, choose the most important analysis or points, in this case, dealt, and then you put them into the paper, into the review. Here, connections between the sources, which points are common, which points are different among the literature, among the authors, among the papers, etc. And again, trends and patterns, themes, debates or contradictions, and gaps, which are the things that are not present in the papers related to the topic. The outline is pretty much it. This is simple, I think. It's introduction, main body, conclusion, and you can have normally one paragraph for the introduction, one paragraph for the conclusion, and then you can have, for example, 3, 4, 5 central body paragraphs. That's okay. And I think that the body is, in this case, is very that's the longest part, okay, in which you have to do your comparison, analysis, contrast, etc., criticizing, blah blah blah. What else? Okay, this section is also important. You have 4 approaches in this case to organize your body, okay? Chronological, thematic, methodological, and theoretical. Normally, the most common, the most well-known is the chronological, which is, and this gives you the a logical sequencing, right, from the oldest paper to the newest paper. Okay, thematic. In this case, you can choose for example, the general aspects until the most particular. That's another way. And the methodological and theoretical, in this case, it depends on, for example, how the authors, what methodologies use the authors to research about a certain topic, or the theoretical, different theories inside the papers. The authors, maybe they used theoretical framework to analyze the problem, right? So in this case, you need to compare the theories behind, in this case, the papers, which is different from the methodological, because the authors use different methodologies to investigate, to research, and then you can compare, those methodologies. And what else? I'm going to, in this case, upload this video for you guys so that you can. It's really, really good. And that's pretty much about it, because it's 9:30. So, guys, any questions, any comments so far? ¿Todo bien hasta ahora?
Sí, todo bien.
Vale,
Sí, profe, una pregunta.
cuénteme.
La literature review y el hito evaluativo son, o sea, porque el hito evaluativo es como una presentación, ¿cierto? Una cosa así.
Claro, se le pone el nombre de hito porque básicamente es una evaluación que se le hace a todo el nivel,
Ah, ya.
a todos
Ya.
ustedes. Ese es como
Entonces,
el hito, ¿cierto? Grande. ¿Cómo
¿eso
se
es lo
evalúa
que-
esto? Ajá, ¿cómo se hace? El instrumento es el Critical Literature Review o Academic Literature Review que le llaman.
Ya, entonces, ¿son dos notas aparte o son dos notas, o sea, o una nota para las dos cosas o cómo?
Claro, o sea, es un assessment, un review en este caso, que vale para DELI y vale para, digamos, para el ramo del Mauro, que no me acuerdo cuál es el nombre exactamente. Perdón la mala memoria.
La lingüística, a ver, era DELI, lingüística, oral y la de metodología.
Ahí está,
Ah,
ahí,
ya,
ahí
entonces
está.
la forma de usted evaluar el hito evaluativo es la literature review.
Correcto. Que vale
Ah,
para
ya,
mí,
ya
vale para mi
entendí.
ramo. Exacto. Ya, porque, claro, después, esta es como la
Gracias.
primera, no hay problema, esta es la primera parte. Ya es como el get ready, ¿cierto? Empezar a juntar la idea, empezar a organizarla con, digamos, con la metodología, ¿cierto? Científica. Y después de eso ustedes tienen que verterlo en su presentación final, ¿ya? Que eso, como digo, es otra parte de la nota. Son como distintas secciones que después, distintas notas que van a ir al sistema, ¿ya? Esta nota, por ejemplo, si ustedes se sacan conmigo un 6.4, ponete, eso va a DELI, ¿cierto? Y a lo mejor también puede ir para, digamos, para otro ramo, pero eso, como te digo, depende del profe en sí. Ya, pero si yo en Literature Review, ¿cierto? Que me sirve a mí, pongo la nota, no necesariamente se tiene que poner esa misma nota en el otro ramo. ¿Te fijas? Porque hay aspectos que no se están evaluando, que no se están viendo, que tienen que ver los otros profes. Y ellos tienen su propia rúbrica y ellos sacarán su propia nota. Pero esta es la primera parte. La última parte es la presentación. ¿Ya? Eso vos, chiques. Eh, Cualquier duda, pregunta, por favor, ahí por el chat, por correo, como ustedes quieran. ¿Ya? Bueno que ya vayan formando sus grupos, ¿cierto? Y si no tienen los temas, piénselo al Mauro para que empiecen a trabajar luego en este asunto, ¿ya? Eso por ahora, eh, que les vaya súper, que les vaya bien,
Cuídese,
que les vaya
profe.
bien.
Que vaya súper bien. Saludos. Chao,
Vale,
chao.
cuídense mucho, chao, chao.
Gracias, profe, cuídese.
Buena
Ya, profe,
semana,
nos
gracias,
vemos.
cuídense. Cuídense, chao, chao.